Thank you very much, AccuAnswer, for your support of Great People TV. Assalamualaikum, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful Wednesday with me, Ben Ibrahim, and Hannah Ismail for another great episode of Great People TV, where we interview very, very successful people from various industries, including business, entertainment, sports, technology, and N. N standing for news. So this year we are branding Great People TV as we interview people from best and N sectors. Betul tak nak?
Betul tu, dan seperti biasa sebelum kita memperkenalkan guest kita pada malam ini, don't forget to like, share and also subscribe our Facebook Great People TV, our YouTube Great People TV, and we are also on Instagram Great People TV, so don't forget. Okay, Ben, I think you're on mute because we can't hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much now for that one. That's why I have a great partner all the time. That's what great partners do. So Great People TV, like Hannah kata tadi, Great People TV Facebook, Great People TV YouTube, Great People TV Instagram, and today our topic up above, developing people through HRD Corp. Who is HRD Corp? Well, they used to be known as HRDF, and we are going to talk to their CEO, which we like to welcome on Great People TV malam ini, the one and only Datuk Shahul Dawood. And there he is right now, looking ever so handsome, ever so dynamic, wearing his heart on his sleeve and the backboard as well. Datuk, how are you? Sehat?
Hey, Alhamdulillah. Hi, Ben. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. Hi, Hannah.
Hello,
No, that's
Dato'.
great. Look, Dato, let's just get straight into it. Like I said, this is a coffee shop conversation or teh tarik conversation, however way you want to look at it. But a late congratulations for getting the job. I know it has not been easy because you got appointed this job last year, and with all the pandemic challenges, you were
Yep.
just telling us off camera, you couldn't even enter the office. So you entered the virtual, well, back then HRDF. But tell us about you're always smiling, you're always excited. You used to be a trainer yourself as well, but tell us what it's like coming into a corporation like then HRDF, now HRD Corp, and you used to be a trainer. You're a person from the events industry. You've done a lot of recruitment events. You've done a lot of social media events, and now you're bringing this very, very appealing glow to HRD Corp. So before I ask you the next question, which is about why the rebrand, tell us about the journey coming in.
Well, I think it's a very exciting journey, Ben. People, most of them know that I come from the events background. But that was my last job before I got into HRD Corp. Prior to that, I was initially my first job after I finished my studies was into education industry. I was there for almost 9 years, uh, in a different portfolios from trainers, senior trainer, marketing, operations. So I went through a whole lot of process for a Singaporean-based company. So I had a very strong footage of education, training, and development foundation. Once I'm done with that, then I ventured into human resource. I used to run, a headhunting company. I used to work with a lot of human resource practitioners. I understand the industry very well during the time. Then after that, I got into events business as an entrepreneur. Prior to that, the two jobs I used to work for companies. Then I went into events industry. Well, events industry is very dynamic. There's nothing is fixed. Every day is a new day, and you got to have different challenges. Um, See, my experience in the event management has helped me tremendously in leading HRD Corp, simply because of the organization skills and management skills, contacts and networks. Of course, when you're in event management, it's just you want to do any simple things. It requires a lot of leadership. It requires a lot of organization skills, thinking, thought process, and everything. So when I got this job, taking HRD Corp to the next level of managing, leading HRD Corp was not so much of a problem, a challenge to me. I'm sure. In fact, it was. I was quite happy, because I'm going back to the, industry where I started off. Training and development, education. It's just that in between I had a gap, but I always on constant touch with the industry. The most challenging part, which I was initially having, was, I'm from entrepreneurship. I'm going to the public office, a public service. So there's a lot of process differences there. The way you think is different. As an entrepreneur, you have no time to spend, delay things, because you're putting your money. You want to have results immediately. You want to see things moving fast. You want to cut down the process, and you have a freedom. You can do what you want, but I might not have that freedom no longer when I enter into the public service.
True,
It's a
true.
dumb job. I am working for a Ministry of Human Resources, so I have to make sure that I execute my thoughts and my creativity within the framework of the Ministry of Human Resources.
Okay,
So that part was initially, I was thinking, it was going running on my mind, how do I fit into that, and how long does it go in? I know I can fit in fast, because I'm adaptable, I'm very flexible, but I want to fit in quickly, so I'm able to serve the purpose and the industry quickly. Because the time I came in, it is a pandemic time. People are losing jobs. Reskilling is required, and everybody want to get reskilled, because they are either retrenched or they are losing jobs. So I have no time to sit down and take my own time to understand or study the industry. The biggest agony is, I got I was called to take up the job, and almost 30 to 40 days I'm not able to enter the office. It was a lockdown period, and I don't know exactly where it was and what we need to move. But I
right.
was very happy. The team was very cooperative. When I came in, we had everything virtually. But that's also a good period, because I was not stressed so much on the job immediately. I took some time to do research, how the human resource development or human resource skills in other countries they run, what sort of things they do. So it gave me some time for me to prepare well. So when I came in, I had my plans in place. It's just a matter of execution. So that's how the whole thing. But the biggest advantage I had in this, from the events industry to human resource, was during my time spent in events industry, I had a huge contacts and networks. I managed to, during that period, which gave me an edge, as I was able to leverage on these individuals and organization to drive some of the transformation I had in mind for HRD Corp.
Right.
Also at HRD Corp, I continuously work with the team to understand more of our programs, schemes, and initiative. I felt as a leader, it is very important for me to truly understand the industry and communicate the right facts and figures to public.
Nice, nice. Thanks for sharing that great story. And I'm just gonna ask one more question before I hand it over to Hannah, because that's how we do tag team interview, really. But for the longest time, whether you're a HR practitioner, a trainer, a corporate person, you always know HRDF. But all of a sudden, in our mind, we have to know HRD Corp. And it sounds quite, more corporate, more dynamic, more international, to be very honest with you, in my personal opinion, or our personal opinions. But tell us about the reason for the name change. And it's really funny because you and I have a lot of similar contacts in the industry. I remember that people were sending us photos, me and Hannah photos. Hey, betul ke ni? With your recent launch, which is really, really cool and sexy. Is this HR, like the new phase of HR? Tell us about that rebrand.
I mean, being in the events industry, I also learned a little bit about branding and also marketing. And
True.
if you're a brand person, and once your brand is there for a long period, it requires regeneration. It requires a fresh look and feel. You must give life to the brand. And HRD Corp, prior to this, HRDF was 28 years old, and the Human Resource Development Fund. I thought that um, during the time 1993, when HRD Corp also started, our core function is to just collect levy from employers and channel it towards employee training. But 28 years later, I don't think so. We can just continue to do that particular scope alone. Not because we are desperate to change. We are forced to change by the market. The industry wants bigger, better things from HRD Corp. The expectations are very different. And with post-pandemic, I mean, the pandemic coming in, we are pushed to the corner. We have to retaliate. We have to come back stronger. And I thought that with the new programs and new we are changing our act, PSMB Act in March, and we are expanding our roles and responsibilities. So I thought that with a new name, with a new look, with a new brand, we could do a much better. Also, we had a major abuse of HRDF logo. People just use our logo without our permission.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
some of the training providers, some of the trainers, some of the coaches, even some of the employers, they don't get any clearance from us for the usage of logo.
Fair, fair.
Sometimes because it was used wrongly, and that's a whole lot of abuse happened in the 28 years. So for me to go back and correct one by one is going to be very difficult, and it's going to take a lot of time, and um, I want to get the end results what I wanted. So I thought the best way is to go for a new fresh logo that could give a real picture to what we want to do. So the fund was never the right word for HRDF. We are not a funding organization. That's also what we thought. So corporation is a much better word for HRD Corp. So we rebranded, we changed the name. We went through the long process of understanding whether the logo is fine, the color is fine. I wanted to go have a vibrant, colorful, rather than just. I don't want to make training as a very boring. We want to be very exciting, colorful. So if you want to rebrand a 28 years old organization, you must make sure your branding is super good, and so at least the transition is quick. People are able to forget quickly and accept a new brand. That's why we are thinking that how effectively this branding should happen. In fact, even this got delayed 7 8 months due to pandemic. Every
Yeah.
time we wanted to launch of a brand, there's a lockdown, there's an MCO, so we couldn't do it. So we thought this year we have to push it through because we have made a lot of reforms. And I'm a strong believer the rebranding is just not only on the logo or the color. It starts from the institution, organization itself. Uh, First, we embarked on a culture change, our and our workforce, our policy change. We did a drastic policy changes. Training centers maybe might take 2 3 weeks to approve. We brought it down to 3 days to get the approval. The levy payments, we put a mandate that within 5 days all the levy payments have to pay out. And a lot of policy changes that is friendly to the industry, friendly to the training providers, and we make it a point that our organization also are ready to change. We had a culture change. We got a new people with the fresh ideas. So it's a whole package. It's just not about the change of color or the logo. It's a whole lot of exercise. We have to up our service standards. We want to. I have a big dream of digitalizing HRD Corp completely. That means one point of time, if an employer or a training provider wanted to know about the training, their levy, their balance, the funds, just over the click, they should be able to get everything. You don't have to use. So there's a complete package we have worked out, and and the launch. I wanted to make it very strong, so I think that stays in people's mind. Alhamdulillah, I think everything turned out well. Now it's most important. We have changed the logo. We have put everything. Now we got to live up to the expectation that service standards. The delivery is very important for us now.
Yeah. Well, you've given people a taste. It's like giving people a new ice cream, isn't it? It's a new taste. It's a flavorful taste. So people always want more. You know what people are like when they taste something good, they want more. Speaking of more, now.
Yeah.
Right, Dato', I think there's quite some aggressive campaigns going on in HRD Corp. You mentioned retaliate, come back stronger, and so many changes. But really, tell us about your new projects, grants and also initiatives.
Well, I think our grants basically we had two types of training we conduct at HRD Corp. One is a levy program, which the money is paid by the employers. For those money we collect, we are completely a custodian. We just manage employers' money, and whenever they decided to choose what training program they want to do, we pay back to them directly, or we pay to the training providers upon the selection by the employers. The second level of training program is the government grant, or our grant programs, where we have uh, 10 hour programs, different programs that are in HRD Corp. That will be, basically we run it over the period. That program is basically on the programs that we understand from different sectors. Whereas the employee-based program, we are levy-based program, it is completely decided by the employers. If the it differs from the different sectors and different industry. The requirements from the manufacturing and the requirements from the banking, or the requirements from the service industry are three different things. So the employers choose what is important, what is needed for their staffs. But there's a bigger group of people who are basically expecting government to put a lot of emphasis on the reskilling and upskilling. That's where our government grant come into play. So we had programs like place and train. Prior to this, it was a train and place, where we train and we place them. We had some difficulties
Yeah, I'm
when we
sure.
train the people. We are not able to get the jobs what we wanted to get. So we change the concept, we tweak a little bit, and we change it to place and train. That means we place first, then we'll be trained. For example, if Ben is looking for a people on media, we secure the job first from your side, we train them, then we give it back to you. So in that way, job is secure. Second, we focus on industry 4.0. We had SME. We also want to make sure that SMEs are training their staff, and we encourage that. So we did a SME program. Then we had our gig programs. Our gig programs are very effective, because during the pandemic, a lot of them lost their job. Some of them have been retrenched. Either those people will be out of job for a short term or a long term. We might not know. So we have to quickly adapt to those people. We have taken those people, trained them into different interests. Some of them have gone into social media marketing. Some of them gone into baking programs. Some of them gone into web designing. Some of them gone into drone programs. So we cater to all these people, and we made sure that these people are able to generate income for themselves. They started to, we give them a taste of being entrepreneurs. We train them, and we also created our own platform to these people to come and work towards this. And last, we had our e-latte as well. E-latte is one of our online platform we created. So we have, all these are different programs that HRD Corp created in the last 2020 and 2021.
Nice, nice.
Right. Ben, before you go on with your questions,
No, no, go ahead now.
I'm saya nak tanya Datuk berkaitan dengan apa yang Datuk telah terangkan tadi kan, berkaitan dengan memberikan fund kepada mereka yang boleh memberikan training kan. Dalam kita tengok kan dalam waktu berdepan dengan pandemik ni, apa sebenarnya antara new approach yang terpaksa kita ambil in terms of upskilling, reskilling dan sebagainya. Boleh tak Datuk kongsikan sikit data-data berkaitan dengan program-program ini dan keberkesanannya? Because there were reports before that nearly 150,000 as of September last year lost their jobs due to COVID. So berapa ramai yang sukses untuk kembali bekerja Datuk dalam waktu seperti ini Datuk?
During the period of year 2020 and 2021, HRD Corp have trained close to 80,000 people, 85,000 people. During that space under the program Punjana, we had a scheme called Punjana. During the scheme, we have trained close to 80,000 people. Of course, some of them took time to do the program because we had an issue of doing face-to-face training program, and we had to convert these people from face-to-face to online-based training program. So it took some time. The 5 days or 10 days program gone into 2 months, 3 months. So 80,000 people has been trained under the government grant. But if you look into the levy-based program and HRD Corp, we have trained close to, in year 2020, we trained 400,000 people on a levy base. Wow. In the year 2021, we have trained 348,000 people. Yet, of course, these numbers are low compared to 2019, 2018 because there's no pandemic. Training was easily
Right.
available. Yeah, but in 2019 and 2020, 2021, the face-to-face program has gone down, and people started to pick up virtual learning and online learning. I mean, I feel that was one of the positive things that came into the training industry. Prior to this, people are a bit allergic to go online training. People say, no, you can't focus online. Is online is very difficult. You can't really learn. But you have no choice now. The corporate companies and the individuals have been pushed into the virtual and online platform. So this is something which we learned even during the pandemic. If not for this pandemic, maybe we'll take another 2 3 years to pick up online training. So that was completely a shift. In fact, the Punjana was 500 million. Is a matching grant where HRD Corp matched with the government 250 million, and the government gave 250 million. So we overall we spent half 500 million. And training out almost 80,000 people over the period.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
All right then.
okay.
Over to you.
Okay, good question now, and really good statistics there. Like you said, Dato, like could have been more if it wasn't for the pandemic. So, but Dato, I'm just going to say something first before I ask my question. Like this, forgive me if I sound a bit frustrated, lah, but this is just my view as a trainer. Don't forget, Hannah and I do training as well. Hannah is a qualified TESOL graduate. We both do, Great People TV. We do some media training. We offer MC services and whatnot. And over the years, like as a trainer, I mean, we've known each other from my time in HR. That's how long we've known each other. You know, especially in our industry, the media industry. I mean, Hannah, I'm sure you can vouch for this here. That once a lot of people in front of the camera, once they probably want to retire from the camera, they say, okay, I'm going to go into training. If a makeup artist, they say, okay, I want to go into training. A product development manager in IT, I want to go into training. So people think that, no disrespect, like going into training is one, two, three baby steps. When there's a whole level of process involved, as you would know better than us. So when people approach me about these kind of things, I say, hey, do you know that it's not like walking into like a classroom just like that, like a simple classroom. You're talking about learning outcomes. You're talking
Yeah.
about modules. You're talking about syllabus. You're talking about structure. You're talking about upskilling, going to the next level, a
The
pathway, talent.
pedagogies
Yeah,
of learning
talent,
and teaching.
talent development. Where is this
Right.
skill leading to? Job placement, career development. The list goes on. And when we say this to these various media industry people, they go, "Wow, so susah wana." So, I mean, what's your view? What is the because with everything we do, it's all about mindset. We are up against a mindset, like you said. People think, "Oh, mindset tak boleh buat training online." Now the pandemic has forced us to do it, whether you like it or not. So, tell us. Sorry to be so long-winded, but is HRD Corp trying to do to change this mindset that look, yes, you can train, but you need to train properly, the right way. You can't just use our logos just like that. You got to seek permission, you got to get certification, you got to get accreditation, and you got to go through the proper process and procedures.
This is something which is very important for us for the year 2022, Ben. The training market has been growing extremely, and we need to make sure that we have quality training providers, quality trainers, and
Yes.
quality. You know, you, you need to make sure that you get these people are the best people in this area, so you're able to produce the good human capital, good transfer of knowledge. I always tell this, Malaysia, we have great infrastructure, we have facilities. There's a beautiful country.
So, agreed.
What we lack here, and we need to make sure that we address this gap, is the right talent. Human capital development is very essential for us to attract foreign investors to come into our country and put in more money and expand their business here. They look for right talent, and of course, easy to say we can get talent from overseas. Let's look in. We just backtrack a little bit. There's a lot of people 10 years before brought into the country for technology, uh, software development. How many of them have seriously transferred the knowledge back to Malaysians? There's a big gap. Not they don't want to do, they don't have the privilege of time to do that. When you are here for a project for 6 months, where do I get time to sit down and teach somebody whether you're getting knowledge, you're transferred knowledge or not? So we don't have time. So we have to seriously understand that this human capital is very essential for Malaysia. For us to go to the next level, we need to train and prepare ourselves very well. For us to produce good candidates or good people on the human capital, we need to have the right training provider and the trainers. I always tell the training providers in the last few engagements, HRD Corp, we used to have, we did the expansion of the Act on the March 2021 from 3 sectors. Now we have increased to, all the employers have to make payment of levy to HRD Corp except the NGOs and the government. So by doing so, your base of employers will grow in multiple times. We have 33,000 employers when I came in. Today I have 67,000 employers, almost 100% growth. The reason why I'm giving this statistics, we used to collect levy on the 33,000 employers. Now we are going to collect levy from 67,000 employers. In 2022, we might hit 120,000, and by 2025, we might go to 250,000 employers, and HRD Corp might collect an annual levy of 5 billion in 5 years from now. So this 5 billion is the size of the training market. It is a huge market. So like it or not, when the company started to train, they have to take up the money from HRD Corp. They got to give it back to the training providers or trainers or coaches. So when the market size is going to be so huge, we cannot afford to have half-cooked, unprepared training providers or trainers who are supporting the industry. So right now, HRD Corp is putting a lot of process in place in developing these people. We have TDF, training development framework, and we have training effective evaluation to maintain the quality of trainers and the training programs we support. Like what you said, everything we do here, it requires a tedious process. Just simply to make sure, not to make ourselves very difficult, to make sure that we come out with the right output. Because we have a great responsibility to make sure that that we produce a quality talent for the country. And HRD Corp being the custodian of it, only thing we don't have the privilege to do the training. We are a facilitator. So the quality control is being done by the training providers, trainers, or the coaches. We can put multiple level of criteria, requirements, but it must be inherited by those people who are doing the training. So being a trainer is just not like easy. That's a message I want to tell. And I myself as a trainer, I used to be a trainer. I still do training. So not you have the best subject knowledge, you can be the best trainer. People with the best subject knowledge, industry expert, may not be able to articulate well what they want to say.
Yes.
So it does not mean other hand, you're a very good orator, you can speak well, you can be the best trainer. It must have the balance of both. You must have that right subject knowledge. You must be able to communicate your ideas effectively, deliver your training in a way that resonates with the audience. That is the most important. So if the training providers, the trainers, and the coaches, they understand how big the market is going to be, I'm sure they will be well prepared. Moving forward, it is going to be much more tougher. We want to make sure we get the quality people who can compete with international trainers, international coaches, when there can be many people who can come from overseas, US, UK, Hong Kong, Australia, to come down to Malaysia and train. Why can't we send our trainers, our coaches Go back to those respective countries and do the training. It's just that we need to uplift our quality. I mean, I won't say that everybody don't have. I mean, all those training providers or trainers don't have. There are well-equipped training centers, high-quality training centers. There are trainers who are very disciplined. They dedicate themselves. They are well prepared. There are coaches who does an extraordinary job. But the market needs more than this. If you are talking about, in fact, even this year, let me just give you the present statistics. We have dispersed close to 370 million in spite of the pandemic in 2021. In 2020, we have dispersed almost 419 million. So it's not a small number. Even to cater to this, you need to have the quality training providers, trainers, and rest of them. So I think it requires dedication, and they must understand how big is the business.
Right.
Nice.
Ben, Datuk, sorry to interject. I was wondering, are there train the trainer programs currently?
Yes, 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 yes. We have TTT programs. In fact, our TTT program has a lot of criterias. We also don't give the TTTs to everybody to conduct. We go through the very tough process, and we shortlist the training centers, and we give them the effective some of the contents and some of the guidelines what they need to follow, because these people are the one who's going to produce the next level of trainers. So you need to make sure that you're well prepared, and you give them the right knowledge, so they're able to train the rest of the young graduates or retrenched workers or even employees. So the TTT is a very tough process, and yes, HRD Corp, we have the accredited TTT centers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No, Dato, thanks for sharing that. But I mean, I've only got one or two more questions before, well, we wrap it up. Really, unless Hannah has any more questions. But you yourself like said what things were done in the past are done differently now. What things that were done 6 months ago will be redundant probably in the next 7 8 months. So once upon a time, and I'm not trying to call ourselves old, but once upon a time, we grew up in high school, sekolah menengah, saying, saya nak kerja untuk Shell. I nak kerja satu syarikat FMCG or oil and gas. I want to work in the rig and get paid a lot of money and then come back to KL and become a boss. A very corporate thinking, working for someone. But now we live in a time that to be an entrepreneur, to be your own boss, to be an usahawan is cool, is acceptable. It is the new thing. Not and now technopreneurs, everything is tech based. So what role does HRD Corp play in that mindset change, that evolution, that revolutionary change from the young high school students, university students to working professionals? Because the working professional, like the fresh graduate, I don't think they will be asking us for jobs anymore. I think we'll be asking them for a job because they will be creating new things, new companies, new corporation, new systems and structures. Dato, your views.
I think this is something, you can't run away from it.
No,
You
no,
have
I can't.
you have to take it. You have to accept it, and you got to prepare yourself to face those challenges. In HRD Corp, um, as we are the custodian of training, that doesn't give us the privilege that we know what is best. You know, as I said, when I was a graduate, when I finished and when I came in, people told me that you have to, once you finish, you have to go into the industry. You got to get the job, and it took us some time for me to get through the experience of working on a corporate. Today is totally different level. People who are studying in school, people who are studying in a diploma or a degree, they started to make their earning through social media, through digital platforms and all these things. They get used to the work culture, work expectations, and everything. They started to believe that education system have to change, and they are not willing to spend longer hours. In 5 years, 4 years degree programs over the period will come down. Micro credential will start to play an important role, and HRD Corp to understand this new gen of people, we constantly engage these people. One of my key job in the year 2020 and 2021, we engaged so many people. We talked to young graduates, people from the startup, people from tech guys, technopreneurs, agropreneurs. We talked to the associations, employers, because people have different opinions. Sometimes I used to think that what we are doing is right, but when I go and talk to Guy, he has totally different view about the subject, which is interesting. If I mean, then I used to think that if I don't understand him and if I don't cater to him, maybe in over the period I will become irrelevant in the industry. So to me, that engagement is a very core responsibility of HRD Corp, because we serve the public. We are in a public domain. If we are not able to take criticism, we are not able to understand, or we are not able to take feedbacks from people, the HRD Corp will lose its responsibility of training and making this country a human capital developed nation. So I think on top of that, we also work with the relevant industry experts. We have a committee called INSEF, industry specialized people who work with HRD Corp. People used to comment in oh, what HRD Corp know, they don't know anything. Of course we don't know anything, we might not know everything. That's what we bring in, industry expert, people who are in the media industry. They come together before we draft out the content. We sit down with them, we go through the framework, we understand what we need. If we are doing something on the drone, I think drone is something which is very popular. We have artificial intelligence that is popular. IR is getting popular. So all these programs are new programs that HRD Corp is embarking on. And we are getting industry experts to come and work with us, draft out the content, syllabus, training hours, and multiple levels, in fact, including certification. In fact, we are going to roll out and launch our micro credentials in the next 1 month time, because micro credential is something which we cannot be ignored. People who are doing 5 days program, if you accumulate, for example, if a corporate companies are training 100 hours of their employees in a span of 10 days or 15 days, we want to make sure that that certification is valid and able to translate back into some sort of career development for those people. So we work very closely with the MQA, working with the university people. So those people who might not have the formal qualification, but they have the skills, they have the subject knowledge. So we want to translate those people into a proper qualification that will help them to increase their, that will go for the betterment of their career, and they have a better pay, and we could go for a high income nation. So that aspect, we are doing a lot of analysis, study. Even we did in our National Human Resource Center, we did a study on flexi work hours. So we continue to do a lot of things in that space as well.
Nice.
Right. Sorry, I nak sambung sikit soalan daripada apa yang Ben tanya kepada Datuk tadi kan. Datuk, some say that we are in an era of, work revolution, macam yang Ben cakap tadi kan. When we talk about talent and nurturing the best people and developing leaders, is the environment and perks lucrative enough in this country? Because wages, of course, has been stagnant for years. Is there, actually a way around that area of problem that HRD Corp can play a role in rectifying that?
See, as a HRD Corp, we are confined and we work, we play within our framework. We can produce quality candidates, or we can prepare them to face a bigger challenge in the industry. We can prepare them to face international market. But the salary standards and their perks is decided by the employers. But once again, now I think the employers are starting to understand. I met one of the leading federation this afternoon. I told them 2022 is going to be an employees market. It's not an employers market. If you are in an employees market, employers can choose who they want, who they don't want. But if you're an employee market, you don't have the privilege to choose who you want. Of course, you will put all the criteria, you want this, but the dominance will come from the employees. Simply, in the last 2 years, the employees or the workforce has become very complacent. You know, when people lose job, they start to go into entrepreneurship. They start to do creative stuffs. They started to earn the 3,000, 4,000 within the 2 weeks on their own pace, on their own flexibility. So now, when the market is opening up, not everybody will be straight away jumping into the job market. I mean, some people will tell, oh, I'm already earning 3,000. I'm happy without all this, every day going to work, 9 to 5 is a routine, Now I have my own flexibility. I can do my things. I can spend my time with my family, so I don't have to go to work. So there'll be a big shortage of, you know, good employees as well. Forget about the foreign workers labor shortage. We might go into even a local workforce shortage. So it's not going to be, easy for employers if you don't put up a right benefits, right value system, right salary scale, and right career development. You may not be able to get a good candidate. And today, the candidates are able. They get access to every part of the world. And I know people who are working. We are staying in Malaysia, working for UK, USA. They get a pack double, salary double than what they get here. So if you have this kind of challenges ahead of you, and if your organization that looking for a quality candidate to work for you, you have to come out with the right perks. Like what I said, like how COVID pushed us to go into the new technology and acceptance of online learning, e-learning. This particular wave will push the employers to come with the better perks, better benefits, and to go for get a quality candidate. So it will automatically the market will shape up the whole thing. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Dato. Because we see that wages ni is determined by market forces, kan?
Yeah.
And the way I see it, Malaysia too is way behind, in terms of wages compared to even Singapore. So that's why I was asking that question. So yeah.
Now, of course, the wages is just not salary. Wages goes along with the cost of living as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I have many people. I mean, if you take $3,000 Sing dollars, is equally the cost of living also very high. Unless you're working in Singapore and you stay in Johor Bahru, then it's a different cost of living. So if you're Singaporean, if you earn 3,000 ringgit, they will still have the similar feedbacks like how Malaysians are giving. They will say, well, 3,000 is still not enough. Um, so I think uh, it goes, the wages and the cost of living goes in a different country in a different way. So I think Malaysians, of course, the minimum wage is getting much better. We have, the government is make a lot of initiative to make sure that the salary scale and the benefits are, effective, and it's rolled out rightfully for all those employees. I think important to me, if you want to go for a better salary skill, you got to upgrade the better skills as well. uh, you know
Right.
um, it goes along with the skills. You must bring the kind of value system to the employers that
Mm-hmm.
he will know that if he don't give you the right perks, he might lose you. And if employers
Mm-hmm.
start to think that, oh, I need bank to work for me, if not, I'm going to have difficulty in human resource, then it's a different value system and the skills he has. Once the
I
employer
see.
started to think, okay, I can't give you extra 200. If you want to leave, I don't mind. That means it's the problem with us. That means we don't possess the right skills. So it's a chicken and egg. You want a high salary, you must have the high skills. And if you want to do a basic administrative job, then you will get that kind of basic salary. So it's a chicken and egg, and I think it goes along with the cost of living as well.
Nice, nice.
Right. Makes sense. Thank you, Dato.
Nah, any more now? Oh,
I have one last question.
okay.
Tapi ni saya question yang relax-relax je because this coming from my follower. Dia tanya, Datuk ada tak training untuk jadi drone operator?
Yeah, we have a lot of we have done on the
They've got a
drone.
lot now. Yeah.
Oh, so boleh join lah. So dia
Yeah,
nak jadi drone operator, tanya ada training tak?
no problem.
Well,
I mean, if you go to HRD Corp website or if you follow our social media, there's a lot of information is there about training and development, what we are doing, activities. In fact, recently during the launch of HRD Corp, rebranding, we launched Upskill Malaysia, a platform, new platform that puts everybody under a single window. There's a lot of training available. See, if I come from the background of media, what are the other related trainings that I could do apart from the media? The system will analytically search and tell you. Okay, apart from my being the media, I can be a TV host, I can be an MC, I can be a piano coach based on my skill set. So if we can
Right.
go back to Upskill Malaysia portal, which is managed by HRD Corp, you get a lot of other informations as well.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Tapi cuma last nanti I nak mengadu kat Datuk. Tapi you can go with your questions first, Ben.
No, I've only got one question now because you set it up very nicely as you usually do.
Right.
That's why you're such a great partner. Tapi, I mean, Dato, you explained everything so well. It sounds like HRD Corp is on the right trajectory and things are going to go quite well. We're very optimistic, inshallah. I mean, Hana and I, we do float within the like you said, the public speaking media service training provider, and then we'll try to work with you more. And it's great that you're trying to improve the mindset. Like people are always like trying to get out of the mindset. Oh, I can claim back from HRDF. Now it's like, okay, HRD Corp. Let's find out more. Let's get more information, upskilling. Let's see how we can improve people's skill set, and really make it an employees market. But what can you tease us a little bit? I mean, last year you finished off with a huge bang, and that's why it was quite hard to get you for this interview because you were focused on the event, and that event was really cool. Well done. But when you come with a bang, you need to come with a boom. So, what is the boom for 2022 and beyond for HRD Corp? I mean, can you tease the audience? There's been quite a lot of people watching this episode tonight because they want to know what next. Okay, you've done the bang. What's the boom? Dato.
Well, in a month's time, we'll be launching our super apps for HRD Corp. As I said, I have a big dream of getting HRD Corp to become a completely, digitalized organization that people come in. We should be the role model, just not for the Malaysian-based company in the regional, outfit. So we will be launching our super apps that will help all our stakeholders to be connected under single apps and be able to get their information, different kind of softwares or the applications that we are using HRD Corp under a single window. Secondly, we will be launching high impact programs. In HRD Corp in the last 1 year, we keep banging on the word impact. Everything we do, we want to have the impact. In the year 2021, just before the completion of November, mid-November, we launched a program called Scope, Second Chance and Opportunity to Excel. This program is specifically designed for prisoners, people who have done a minor, offense. And sometimes they go into the jail without even knowing that's the offense. And these people come out. There's a big stigma that they come out of the prisoners. They are prisoners, so they cannot go for the training. So what we did, we created a special program for Scope, and we brought these people, trained them, and we got them to job in the industry. And we are giving them the second chance. That was a very high impact program. With the kind of results what we had, now we are embarking on more programs for the year 2022. We're going to have a program called SEBA, Seniors Back in Action. Malaysians is becoming an
Nice.
age society,
Yeah.
and we all don't have the privilege of having high savings in the EPF. And but at the age of 60, we can still have a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom. We could tap into those knowledge. So we want to make use of all those people who have retired and to get back, give them some opportunities, some jobs, and train them and meet up to the market expectations. So that program will be launched in the next 1 month or so. Then we have a special program we are drafting out for OKU and single mothers. So there's a lot of high impact programs that's going to be coming in HRD Corp. I mean, people who are. I mean, of course, we have our regular programs, place and train and also for gig economy, for freelancers. Then we have for SMEs. There are a whole lot of programs, but we want to make sure the programs which is coming in 2022 are very high impact. We're able to see the results. We're able to see people generating incomes. So that gives us a real satisfaction that we have produced that right candidate for the country. I mean, I want people to get connected to HRD Corp through our social media platform. Stay tuned, and you will be able to see more. You'll be able to get more information on what we are doing.
Nice, nice, nice. Look, nah, anything else you want to slid in from your followers or anybody else?
Um, Tak adalah. Coming from media background also kan. Sebab I
Yep.
selalu, because people in media tau, dia selalu dapat salary rendah, you see. Sometimes insurance are not covered,
Yeah.
benefits tak dijaga and semuanya on contracts mostly. So, itulah I
Tough.
nak mengadu je lah sikit. So, it's
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough for us. Tu je nak cakap. Sorry,
So,
Dato'.
well, there's a message there from Chian there, that Dato.
Right.
Congratulations, HRD Corp. There's a lot of viewers watching saying some positive things. And just based on your last answer, Dato, I mean, I know you're a hard worker and you will work hard to. Thank you, Alfi Arif, for your comment as well. But we know that you'll work hard to make all those initiatives that you just said and much, much more, because we know that, yeah, I mean, something that the papers don't pick up, the intangibles lah, that we know about you is that you're a workaholic. Okay, you're a workaholic and you will never, and you're always thinking and you're always creating. That's the entrepreneur in you. So it's really funny that the background of your video, Dato, is a key. So may HRD Corp unlock many, many talents this year and beyond,
Hopefully,
inshallah,
amin.
in Malaysia, and that we are, like you said, high income nation, and that, we can say, yeah, Malaysians going. We like to, Hannah and I always like to say on Great People TV, Malaysians going over the sea. It's not people coming over the sea to us, but we are going over the sea to make a difference in the world, because Malaysians are talented, and HRD Corp is very much part of that, unlocking the talent. So well done, Dato. All the very best. We were
Thank
gonna say goodnight right now. Is that thank you so much for your time. Anytime you want to come back on Great People TV, just drop us an email. Got more stories to share, because there's nothing boring about people development. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Hannah, for this interesting, session. I'm very happy that we're able to share a lot of things from HRD Corp, and you've given me the space to share. From the day I started and until today. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you to all your followers who are watching us for the last 1 hour.
All right. Now, good
Thank
job
you so,
tonight,
so
Dato. Well
much.
communicated. Yeah. Please
Thank
stay in
you.
touch.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Dato.
Waalaikumsalam.
Wow. Okay, now
Right.
get your Tessel hat back on. Yeah, is that your Tessel hat? For those of
Well,
you
I
who
look
don't.
forward to all the trainings that they're going to provide to us, because Datuk promise is going to be a very high impact programs. So I really look forward, especially coming from the media industry. And I'm pretty sure a lot of, people from media industry, the production workers, they look forward to all these trainings to help them generate better income, better wages in the future. Look forward to 2022, inshallah.
That's
So
right. And
yeah.
don't forget, people from the media industry, transferable skill set, yeah? Public speaking, production, editing, visual editing, good for weddings, good for
Yes.
private events, and so forth and so on. Look, Dato would know because he's from that background as well. Look, I really enjoyed this episode, Hannah. You?
Well, I look forward to all these trainings because I'm the kind of person who looks forward to upgrade my skills as well, and the working in the media industry, and what can I help to contribute to our future generation who may look for opportunities for more job opportunities as well. So yeah,
Well, that's why you're my partner, Hannah Ismail, and may you stay forever young and forever green. So, thank you so
forever
much.
young. I'm not pretty sure about that, but yeah, I look forward to all these things. Thank you so much, Ben.
Okay, so don't forget, everybody, catch us next week for our next episode of Great People TV, as we're going to speak to a sports entrepreneur, Tim Heath. And Tim Heath works for a company in Estonia called Heathmont, and they are the sponsor of Southampton Football Club. So, Tim, it's very nice of him to make some time all the way from Estonia to make some time next week to talk to us about how the business of sports actually works. When you sponsor a big football club in the glamorous English Premier League, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities that come with it. Okay, and what is the monetization behind it? How is revenue streams built, and so forth and so forth. Please stay tuned. You don't have to be a sports fan to watch that episode. If you're a business fan, if you like how things progress, usahawan entrepreneur, hey, sports clubs are no different to any entrepreneurs out there. They want to make money, so their club in this case can survive and test and go for or stand the test of time. So join us next week for another episode of Great People TV before the Chinese New Year break. On behalf of Hannah Ismail and myself, Ben Ibrahim, it's been a great night. Thank you, Datuk, for being with us tonight, and we'll catch you next week for another episode of Great People TV. Assalamualaikum and take care.
Bye.
Night, everyone.